Hello, and welcome to, let me just check the camera here, the MLF Forex Trading Journal, day number 2. We're going to recap some of the trades from yesterday, as well as do some live trading for around about an hour, maybe 2, with the Overmind algorithm that we have here at MLF, machine learning forecasting, for the full picture there. So we got one trade that's active. I actually just opened this. I'm just getting my trading day started around about 4 p.m. my time, 1 hour after the Asian markets have opened. So going to go probably for the next 4 hours or so, and I'll document 1 or 2 hours, as I said on the video, for this trading session. I'm just going to let that run. It's already looking pretty promising. So the Euro JPY, and we're looking for 29.9 pips, as you can see here on the left hand side, a very strong sell. It actually came in a few minutes before I opened, so about 4 minutes prior to me entering, but I thought that it was a nice trade anyway and that I'd take it. The entry price we were looking for was 120364. So we were looking at an entry around about here. So it's unfortunate we got in a little bit later. We got in about 10 pips below. So it's not a massive representation in terms of this signal, because we would have had our stop loss, well, a little bit higher. It's still kind of in the danger zone here. Ideally, I think we would have been looking for a stop loss above here. But there's some strong movement in the last couple of hours indicating a downtrend, and we see it has spiked down into the range where our take profit was a couple of days ago. So I'm optimistic about this trade. I think that it'll pan out for us, but it's a one-day trade, so we're probably not going to get a result during this trading session. But obviously we'll be looking at that tomorrow to see how that panned out. So yesterday, what happened yesterday? Yesterday was actually quite a productive trading session. We started here, started with a small win. This is before I implemented my optimal. I don't know why I did the quotations there. There's no video on me. But I started this just with a one single lot. It was a nice win, but because it was a small move, we only got the 84 profit. This is where I started implementing some form of optimal lot sizing using baby pips. They have a calculator there, but it was a tedious process that ended up adding, I want to say at least a minute onto the time of making, taking a trade, which is less than ideal, especially as a lot of the times the markets are moving very quickly, and you want to capture that entry point as close to the possible entry point as possible, as noted with the Euro JPY trade here, that we're 10 pips late into that trade, but it is still, in my mind, a decent trade, and I'm excited to be in that trade. So started using that, and we had some good trades yesterday. So I think I did how many trades? 8 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 trades, 6 wins, 2 losses, 2% of my account balance each trade. So if you total up these 6 wins, that's 12%, and 2 losses, 2% each, 4%. So we're up about 8% on the account versus when we started. So we started yesterday at about 9,000 after I mucked around with the account and dropped it down from the initial 10,000 with just some trades that I was playing with, and then I think we started proper trading around about here. But all in all, very happy with the results for yesterday. Around about, I think, 75% accuracy that works out to be. And one of the trades, these 2 trades, both of them you'll note, were GBP USD, and funnily enough, they both gave signals at around about the same level, and then went down, just hit the stop loss, popped back up, would have hit the take profit, and then came back down into the same levels. Another signal was given, and pretty much exactly the same thing happened, except it went a little bit lower that second time. So I probably would have been stopped out regardless before it reversed to about a 60 pip profit. And we'll look at that chart in a second. But just wanted to run through those 6 trades there. You can see there was a couple of good wins early on. The Euro JPY, and then another win there with the Euro JPY. So the system was doing a very good job on the Euro JPY yesterday, and sometimes it does that. Sometimes it is a little bit better on certain pairings than other pairings. And what we'll look to do is we'll actually look to aggregate all of the trades for each signals, each pairing, so we can give you an up-to-date representation of what we're looking at in terms of overall accuracy for each pairing. But that's going to be something that we work on this history page that we're looking at implement at the moment. So for those of you who maybe don't know anything about how the system works, we use very complex machine learning algorithms that basically create, we call them agents, but each agent can be thought of as their own algorithm, and they have their own set of rules, and they mimic Forex traders in the market with their own risk tolerance, their own set of conditions of when they do trade, when they don't trade, what their signals are. And the way we issue our signals is by looking at a group of these traders together and seeing whether or not they agree that a certain thing is going to happen within the market. And if they do, and if they agree with a good degree of certainty, then a signal is given. And we look at the degrees of certainty and how accurate those particular traders are when we're issuing the label or the action. So very weak is obviously not that great. Weak is a little bit better, but still not that great. And then you have very strong and strong signals as well. For those of you who checked out yesterday's video, you will have remembered that I did a paper trade on the USD CAD because I was having issues, now resolved issues, mind you, but with my MetaTrader client and it not being able to update the tick data nor enter trades on certain pairings that I was having. Long story short, essentially by right-clicking on here and saying hide all, it only leaves the charts that I actually have open up here, and it's only, well, it might be still getting the tick information and the market information for the others, but it prioritizes these. So previously, when you have show all, oh, what's going on? Yeah, so when you're showing all of them, it is getting the data for all of those charts, and it does it in chronological order from top to bottom. And if your bandwidth is not high enough to manage that, in which case, look, with the Philippines, where I am, the internet's not that consistently great. Sometimes I get 50 megabytes a second. Sometimes it's a bit of a trickle. But by hiding all and by only having the information here of the charts that I'm actually trading, it prioritizes these and it actually enables me to enter trades in those markets, which is cool. So let's jump quickly to the USD CAD and we'll see if we can figure out where we entered. So it was 3:37 p.m. yesterday that I looked at entering this trade. So if we go to the 1 hour chart, we should be able to. Now obviously there's a different time down here, but we're 4:24 at the moment, so we're going to say we're 1 hour ahead of where we are. And if we can go, whoops, if we can figure out where that was, it was a buy, so if we're down here, it's looking like it might be quite good. What was the price? 135,259. 135,259. Around about there. So if it was here, that's a great trade. We were looking for 61 pips, in which case Oh, we would be pretty close. We'd be heading there in a little bit, I'd say. If we were here, 61 pip stop loss, we still would be in regardless. So we still would be in this trade, which is good. You know, that's a nice trade there. That's a good profitable trade. I'd probably be looking to just take a profit around about here. It seems like it's hitting some resistance here. You can see it's hit over here. You can see this is generally a resistance level. If we jump out to the 1-day charts, well, maybe not. Not on the 1 day. Let's go to the 4 hour. It does like that level though, and it likes to bounce back at that level. So, you know, when it comes to securing a profit of 90% of your take profit versus having it reverse and having that 90% go down to whatever you set your stop loss at, you'd at least be getting out break even. You might decide 50%. Let's make sure we retain 25 pips or 30 pips. But all in all, that's a pretty good trade. I'm going to try to figure out exactly when the entry time would have been. Let's go back down to maybe a 30-minute chart. It might be easier to figure it out. So the time at the moment is 11 on the charts. So let's go back 24 hours. Around about here. So we would have been entering around about here. So we did drop down, but as I said, it's not the 61 pips, and we would still be in that trade. Obviously, there would have been the overnight fee. I think it works out to be about $12 at my current prices, but not too shabby, not too shabby at all. Oh, we've got a strong buy here. 11 seconds ago, USD CAD. Looking at the charts, it's telling us to buy here. Looking for 60 pips again. It's telling us we're going to go up. 135,669. I'm not so sure about that one. 135,66. So around about where we are. Let's bust it out again. Have a look. So we can see we've fallen down. It's telling us that we're going to go pretty much up to the top here from where we are right now. 1 day charts. We can see we've just been going down. Look at that. Oh, 900 pips. And we're looking. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take it. There's no real reason not to take this trade, and it gives me an opportunity to show off what I was working on yesterday. So we got the MLF trader. Let me just enter that. I'll explain this in a second. Let's just call that around 62 pips. Oops, 62 pips. So we're looking for a 0.29 entry on that. And we are on a buy. And we want to go 620. Boom, done. Okay. See how that one pans out as well. So I'm not very used to taking these long trades. I haven't been taking a lot of these 1 day trades, but it's a good opportunity to show both sides of the system and see how they turn out. So what I just did, and what you'll be able to see here, is an optimal lot size calculator. Basically, I just coded this up yesterday and the day before quickly in MetaTrader. It's pretty basic. It's got some good functionality though. There's some other stuff I can add to it, but essentially what it's doing there is it's displaying equity, available equity, and the base currency. So the equity you'll see is changing, and that's changing every tick that comes in. And then what it's doing is it is using the information that you input here as your max risk percentage. So we only want to risk 2% of our account. Then it's taking in the max loss in pips that you're willing to take, where your stop loss is going to be, which is 62, which is a 1-to-1 risk reward of the predicted change. And what it is then doing is it's looking at the currency pairing that this indicator or expert is attached to, comparing it with your base currency, so your account currency, mine is AUD, and then it is calculating, what the lot size should be, so that at that lot size, with your stop loss, you'll be only losing 2% of your account. What I'll probably do tonight is I'll add in some extra information that I can show here, such as what the maximum loss is going to be in terms of dollars. And that just gives you a little bit more of an indication that it is actually giving me the right numbers here. But I'm just going through the testing process at the moment with this. I'll add some more functionality and then probably make this available to everyone for free in the Telegram room. So you got that to look forward to, and it just makes things a little bit easier. Instead of having to hop between screens on here, between Baby Pips calculator or another calculator, I can then easily have this on each chart, then just push F7 on my keyboard, enter in whatever the pip value is, click OK, and it automatically updates based on my equity and all this other input data. So I'm saving probably, I'd say 90% of the time that I was spending mucking around on the other side of things, which is cool. It's progress. So we look at our 2 trades there, and they're both slightly negative, but very early on in the trades, and we're just going to let those trades run. Let's put these to the left-hand side so we can keep an eye on them. So what I'm going to do now is we'll have a look at some of the trades from yesterday and just quickly talk through those. So let's go to the GBP USD, which was what we're on right now, and this was the chart that wreaked havoc for me yesterday. It caused me a lot of issues, and I was not very happy with this chart yesterday. So we'll go to the 30-minute just so you can get an idea of the times. So we'll count back what we're looking at here in terms of time. 14, we took that trade, and it was entry price 24591. 24591, around about here, and entry price was, what was it, 14? It was like here, somewhere around here. Must have been before that. Maybe I got stopped out at 14. Is that what it means? Yeah. Let me go back to the 15-minute. I'm having trouble figuring this out. I'm going to have to turn on off the auto updates. Okay. 1400 was the entry time. Here we go. Boom. So entered pretty much right sort of here. 24, what was it? 24591. 24591. A little bit above here, and we were looking for a take profit of how many pips? I think it was like 10, 15 pips or something. Let's have a look. Where was the take profit set? So we're at 591 and 740. Okay, so that's a little bit higher than I thought there. So we're looking at, yeah, 15 pips. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow at the moment. And as you'll see, we went down about 26. You know, it spiked down fairly soon after I entered, before, as I said, rallying back up massively. So these are both these times here. I believe it was here and here that I got stopped out. and I entered pretty much at the same level both times. And on this one, I was just stopped out by a couple of pips before it rallied back up and would have hit the take profit. And same with this one. So I was aware, looking at the charts, that I thought the entry level here was a little bit too early. Looking at the charts, I had seen that this is the level that was tested. Hold on. Am I right there? Yeah. So this is the level that had hit here. And personally, I thought we were entering a little bit too early around about here on this trade, which the entry was 24618. Round about here, yeah. So to me that looked high. However, I did look at the previous trend and see that it wasn't an uptrend, so the likelihood of it pulling back, coming to around about this level and then continuing back up was there. Unfortunately, in this trade, it just continued down a little bit more before, it wasn't a lower high. It wasn't a lower low, it was a lower high, but unfortunately we got stopped out. So then it pulled back again, and I decided I'd give it another shot. Unfortunately, it stopped me out on that one as well. So they weren't bad trades. There was just a little bit of error there in the entry position, and maybe in the predicted change as well, because we had a much greater move up. So if we had predicted a 20 pip move or a 30 pip move there, then we would have still been in the trade, and we would have kept our profits. So unfortunate, but these things happen, and hopefully through optimization we'll be able to eradicate situations like this, and all of the trades will, or not all of them, but the majority of trades like that will wind out to be profitable trades. Let me turn that back on. Let's have a quick look at what's going on with these two. Still negative. Let's go down to a lower time frame and see what's going on. Ooh, bit of a pullback there. I'm going to be a little bit worried if it gets above here. And see, I'd be thinking that, maybe I should readjust this stop loss to about here personally, but that's what everyone will do. Everyone will have their stop loss in this area, right? So the chances that it pulls back, it pings around about here and then continues in the direction that we've predicted the market's going to go is a little bit higher. And remember, in this trade here, I got in a little bit late, so the stop loss should be even higher. Our entry should have been around about here, and our stop loss should be around about here. So if we get stopped out at this level, I'll know that this trade should have been a profitable one, and I should have just let that go, bearing in mind that I was late to the party. We'll go down on this one as well and see what we're looking at. So this looks like it might be about to pull back. We've got some good resistance there, or good pullback candle. So everything's indicating that that's about to go up in my mind. However, we do have this concerning level here, as I said when I entered this trade. Here / here, depending on what time frame you're looking at it. So could go either way. In all honesty, with this trade, although we have a long way up to go, I think we're looking for a 60 pip profit in this one. I would be probably looking for a tighter stop loss if I was serious about this trade, and that's something we'll work on as we get all the information in. I mean, it does cover us a lot there, doesn't it? Let's just trust the system for now. Let's just trust the machine, the algorithm. It knows what it's doing. Well, I hope it does. So far, it appears that it does. Right, back to some of these trades here. We had the USD CAD. I thought I couldn't enter. Oh, that's after I figured out that I could enter yesterday. So let's have a look at that trade there. 3.11 lot size. Wow, that's because it was quite a small move I was looking for. What did we get? We got entered at 300, exited, and it was a sell at 245. So it was only, what's that? 5.5 pip. So bordering on my tolerance in terms of taking trades, but I did say yesterday's video, anything under 5 pips I would not consider, and in this trade I thought it was looking pretty good, and turned out to be right. So let's jump back to that time. It was 13.52 yesterday. Jump down to the 30 minutes, see if we can figure out where that was. 13.52. And we're yesterday here, yes. 15, 13, 14. So roughly here-ish. Entry price was 135,300. This level here. So we entered here. I believe it's I think I was watching this one. It spiked up and it came down, and I entered as it was going down, and then it just went boom and hit the take profit within a matter of 10 minutes, probably even less. But that was a very quick trade, very quick profit there. Do we have any other USD CADs? We had another one here, and this was a sell as well. They were very bearish on the USD CAD yesterday. In the short term, the long term was that 60 pip movement that they predicted that we would have probably maybe hit in that point there, or close to. I think it was, this one was about 50 something pips. So we'd still be in it, but it's looking like it's probably going to go up, and the algorithm believes that it's still going to go up. So this other trade here, 35297, pretty much exactly the same levels. So it knew pulling back to that level, the chances were it was going to head back down again. And we were looking around about an hour earlier at 1314. So I think it was around about this 1314. Where are we? 12, 13. This candle here. So I think it pulled up. What were we looking for? We were looking for 297, about the same. I think it was about a 6 pip profit on that one. I can't do the exact math in my head right now. So we entered 297. What am I looking for? That on the side, 297. Entered there, so it must have been on this candle here. And I think we hit it pretty much straight away, but we would have still been in it after this one because it was about 6 point something, I can't remember. But I think we hit it on this candle here. It went down, which is a nice little profit there. That was it for the USD CAD. So let's take a look at. Did I do the Euro Jappy? I don't remember. That's pretty much the only other ones we've got anyway, so let's jump to the Euro Jappy and see. We were looking for buys, which is a very different picture than what is being painted today. That's a lot of P's in that sentence as well. Let me just quickly check here. Yeah, good. So we're on the 5 minute. Let's go to the 30 minute again and have a look to see where we were entering. So you'll remember yesterday I was talking, I think, about this candle on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, whatever I was looking at. There was a big green candle, which was a strong indication to me that we were in an uptrend, or that the uptrend was at least affirmed by that candle. So let's take a look at our first trade here from yesterday. I think I actually took that one live during the session, and it worked out for me. So we were
looking to go from 761, and the time of entry was 10:15. 10:15. It's around about here, and I know we took it. I think we took it like here or something. What's the price there? 7.6. Yeah, so a little bit down. We took it like here, and then it just shot up. Boom, hit it straight away. And took another trade fairly quickly. Oh no, it was 12:40, so it was 2 and a bit hours later. So we're on the 30 minutes, so it was 2 and a bit candles later. So it was down here. That looks about right time on there, 12:40, this candle. And the entry there was 711, so I think it pulled down, might have been this candle then, 711. Where was it? Was it 711 or is that when take profit? Which one was that? I was looking at the wrong trade. 820. 820. Sorry about the dogs, they're going a bit nuts, going a bit bonkers. So it's somewhere down here anyway, and we were looking for another small profit there. I think it was only about 10 pips or something. So we entered at 820 and we were looking to go to 908. So, you know, what's that? 8.2 pips, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, 9.2. Anyway, easily got it. Then it pulled back. And we had one final trade of the Euro Jappy after it had pulled back a little bit later in the day. So a little bit of a different story there. 1500 hours. Which was... Gosh, must have been just before here. Let me go down one. 1500. Oh gosh. Boom, here. So we entered at 922. On this candle. Must have been, yeah. And I think we were just looking for another small profit, and we made that before it reversed and went straight back down. So lucky we weren't still in there. But that's what the system's for. What am I looking for here? Sell. That's right. So that's one thing I'm doing at the moment, is I am actually watching the charts. So I'm not doing a lot of watching right now because I'm talking about yesterday's trades and all this other nonsense that you probably don't care about. But generally yesterday when I exited the video, when I finished recording, I sort of just sat down. A bunch of good trades came in, so I took them. And then I was just watching the charts. I went down to the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and I was watching the movements, watching how things were progressing, and making a mental note as to what I felt at certain levels, how I felt in terms of would I have exited right now, would I stay in, because I noticed, especially with those two trades that went against me on the GBP USD, that I was feeling pretty shitty about the trades almost immediately. I thought that they were more than likely I was going to get stopped out on them, and that was just due to a few things, a few factors. One was I felt the stop loss wasn't low enough. I felt that it had already tested those regions a couple of times, and it was probably going to wind up in that position before. I definitely thought the algorithm was right and that it was going to hit up, but I did believe that I was probably going to get stopped out before it was going to continue with its uptrend. So because of that, I probably shouldn't have taken the trades. I should have analysed them a little bit more, or as soon as I started feeling that way, maybe I should have exited them. But that feeling didn't sort of come a little bit later until it started to go negative, against me, and it was going against me quite strong. Like it wasn't it wasn't just one or two candles. It was a couple of candles indicating that there was strength to the downward pressure. So that's something I'm taking mental note of just while watching the charts. How am I feeling about the trade in general? Do I believe that it's going to go up or go down? Now, you don't have to do this. This system is here for everyone. It is not for the people, just for the people who want to spend all day looking at the charts. It is not just for the people who want to not look at the charts at all and take trades. This is a tool to help you to become a better trader regardless of your skill level. We don't want it to be a close your eyes and take a trade solution. We would much prefer people who are actually using this to be interested in trading, interested in learning about learning about charts, charting, and also the fundamentals possibly. However, fundamentals tend to, if you cross the fundamentals and the oh my gosh, I'm having a mind blank. What's the opposite to the fundamentals? You know what I mean. The technical analysis. You can often, it'll blur your decisions, it'll haze your decisions, and it may make you a better trader if you can blend it seamlessly, but it also could, if you're just looking on the shorter term trades, the fundamental understanding could cause you to doubt the technical analysis that you're looking at. So you have to be very careful there. That's something that's quite widely known amongst the professional traders, is generally you're picking one or two. In the long run, fundamentals tend to have the staying power over the technicals, especially if it's a long-term trading, intraday trading, or not intraday, if it's swing trading, because those are where the longer-term trends come from. So if that's the type of trader you want to become, if you want to target the multiple day trades, then possibly fundamentals is a good idea for you. But the objective that we're trying to achieve with our system is to just open it up to everyone, no matter what kind of trading you do. You should be able to pick up our tool here, use our algorithm to become a better trader, and it should complement the skills and the knowledge that you already possess. And that's what we're looking for. Oh, what's going on with this trade? Let's have a look at the other one. I'm not feeling too great about this trade here. We've got a very strong indication of a downtrend here. We've got two wicks at the top and shooting stars, is that what they're called? The reverse of a hammer. And now we've got a pretty thick looking downwards candle, a bearish candle. So I don't know about this trade, but we're going to let it pan out. We're going to let it run the whole duration. I'm not going to exit it because this is a valuable insight for me. Let me just mark on here actually where I indicated that I wasn't feeling too good about that trade. Let's see where it winds up. I'm guessing that in a couple of hours we're going to be probably down in this area. Could be wrong though, could be wrong. And I'm not 100% happy about this trade either. Looking at both of them, they just seem like they're reaching. And when you're trading, you want to trade where the odds are in your favor. And to me, this trade just doesn't really look like it's in our favor. We're in a bit of a sideways market here after a short uptrend and an overall downtrend. If we look at the longer charts, well, an overall uptrend, you might look at it there. Really depends on which chart you look at. I mean, that's a pretty strong looking uptrend, but a decent pullback here on the 1 day. On the 4 hour, you know, you capture some of that, but it does look like there might be a mini downtrend here, doesn't it? Oh, wrong one. This is why people use TradingView. It's a little bit better for charting. But it does look like there might be something here. You know, if I can draw them straight. Oh, why did it automatically pop back? So, you know, that's not a bad trade. Looking at it like that. We're testing this upper band here. The 30-day moving average is heading down. It looks like it might be heading for a cross, actually. Possibly. So I'm feeling a little bit better about that trade, having looked at the charts properly. Something I probably should have done prior to starting today's trading session. I'll leave that up for now, and we'll just track that. But it's not off to a great start. I mean, yeah. My thinking is that in the long term, it is probably going to wind up where this trade is predicted, but I don't think that stop loss is high enough. And part of that's my fault, as I said. But we'll let it run. Okay. Come on, machine, give me some trades. Give me some trades. One thing we are working on at the moment is an alert system, because the amount of trades that I've missed while I've been busy talking or not focusing on this this table here is annoying. So what we're going to do is have hopefully an alert system. Armory's working on it at the moment, where you've just got a couple of either radio boxes or check boxes that you can tick to say which trades, which labels you want an alert to sound for, and whether you want them to sound for the 1 hour and the 24 hour, or just one or the other. So that way, and what we'll do is we'll have probably a different sound for the 1 hour and a different one for the 24 hour, so people can, you know, differentiate. We won't go as far as to differentiate the sounds for each of the individual actions, but that way you can only choose to have that alert sound if there's a strong buy or a very strong buy / sell for both of them, or you can do the weak ones as well. Like, that's something we've sort of neglected at the moment. I've not really been going into it, but once we have that history page up and running, we'll be able to see how accurate those weak buys actually are. You know, it'll be interesting to see if they would be profitable, even those ones, versus the others. And then we can do comparisons between the different strengths of signals to see, you know, what is the difference in terms of accuracy, in terms of profitability. And you can use all that information to tailor your trading system in the future. Audio test. Oh, I had a heart attack moment there. I thought maybe I had left the mic muted. No, it would have been a disaster. Come on, guy. Go in the right direction for me. No, that's bad. I know it's bad to sit there willing the direction of the trade. That's how people get addicted. Turns into gambling, or they start taking their profits too early and taking their losses too late. Oh, let me just give it a little bit more leeway. Let me just, drag that stop loss down to just under here. I think that's the perfect spot for it. No! You got a system for a reason. Follow the system. Alright, I don't think I'm going to be getting any more trades during this session. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So I'm going to end it there. We'll obviously recap these particular trades and the many other trades that I'm likely to take today, depending on how things pan out. I'll probably look to at least take another 2, if not more, if they come up, depending on what their trade, what the strength of the trade is. But yeah, and then we'll recap all of those tomorrow, and I'll do a little bit of live trading tomorrow as well. I think I should have entered the market a little bit earlier today. Actually, before we jump out, let's have a look at some of these older signals on the 1 day and see what the deal is with them, see whether or not they would have been profitable. So we got down here, we got a USD CAD strong buy 4 hours 40 ago, and we did just get another new trade, which might be a good one to take. So where's the USD CAD? Do I have the USD CAD open? Oh, there. What did we just get? Very weak sell, very weak buy. USD CAD strong buy, and we were looking about 5 hours ago, wasn't it? 441. So might be easier if I go on the 15-minute, count that out. What's that? 4 times 4, 16 candles, 17, 18, 19 basically candles ago, and we're looking for a buy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Right about here we were told to buy, so straight away that looks like that's going to be a profitable trade for me already. What were we looking for? Oh, 62 pips, so that's an earlier entry for the trade that we're already in. But we'd still be in that trade, because obviously 62 pips down, we're looking way down here, and we'd be looking at a 12 pip profit, but we would have maxed out at about a 32 pip profit there. So overall, the algorithm, the different agents are very bullish on the USD CAD at the moment for the longer duration. What's next? Very strong sell, Euro Jappy. We're in a sell there at the moment, aren't we? Yes, but it looks like we would have been given a sell up here. No, that would have been a much better entry. 20592. So we would have been entering around about here. Bummer. Wish I'd got that one. That would have been a profitable trade already, I think. What was the profit we're looking for? 29.8 pips. Yep. Would have been a winner. Okay. So that trade was given 3 hours 37 ago on the 15. That works out to be 4 times 3, 18. Wait, no, 12. Good maths. I was thinking 6. Plus an extra 2. So we're looking at 14. Let me zoom in a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This candle here. Roughly. And where did it go? There. 29 pip. Yep. I mean, it was a little bit below that, wasn't it? It was sorry, 592. Yeah, plenty of range there. 29's up here, so boom, it would have been a winner. USD CAD, another one, strong buyer. So we'd still be in that trade. Just going back here. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to repeat those buys. My thinking is it's just get in one, and then it is just reiterating that it is still a good time. Like, it's going in the right direction, and that is validating your trade. So that's the way I'm looking at these. You want to be in as early as possible with those trades, and then you just want to ride it. It's not to say these won't wind up being profitable trades as well, because the chances are what's happened is it's told you to take this trade. It has gone up, maybe it's gone up like 15 pips, and then it's pulled back down into the same level, and this might be a couple of pips different, but it's told you, if you weren't already in, get in this trade. That's where it's heading. And it's up to you if you want to double down because you think, yes, this is a really good trade. My thoughts are there's plenty of trades to enter. You don't need to double up on the same pairing. That's just, it's doubling your risk. You may as well have just entered a double lot size. So that's not a good idea in my mind, because you can easily lose 4% of your account if you're risking 2%. Just like that. Not a good idea. We've got a very strong sell, another Euro Jappy. So, they're very they're bearish on this. And that would have been another profitable trade, I think. 49 minutes ago. We're on the 15. Oh, maybe not. Is that the one we're in right now? I think it is. Yeah, because then we entered that USD CAD when it came a little bit later, didn't we? Yeah, so we're going to let those ones run. That's probably the worst of the signals that's been given, because it does look like it might be reversing. No! Yeah, so we're negative a good 15 pips, and it's looking pretty strong. As I said, I'd be pretty worried if it got up to this level earlier on in the video, and I'm pretty worried. I'm thinking that it's either going to test this level here and pull back, but if I see it up here, then it's definitely hitting that stop loss. But it's probably, as I said, going to pull back before it reaches the level where the stop loss should be. Damn. Wow, look how far that stop loss is. 60 pips. It's magical. But we're allowed to do that with a small lot size because we're risking exactly the same amount. It's just a lot of wiggle room there. Cool. Okay, now I'm going to end it for real. I appreciate anyone who took the time to watch this video. We'll check in tomorrow and we'll see how the trades have panned out, as well as I said, run through any of the other trades. For anyone else who's testing the system like I am, I would love to see your results. Let's start a dialogue. Let's have a chat about the system, how we can improve it, and what we think is good about it, what we think maybe not so great and needs a little bit of change.